Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, hosting Cruz, and guys, I am here to talk about one of the most sweet and sour boxing events I've ever experienced, and that is on the Shakur Stevenson versus Artem card. Um, First of all, let's talk about the great stuff that we saw. Abdullah Mason, one of the hottest young rising talents in the sport of boxing today, period. At 135, this kid has it all, 20 years old, not even in his physical prime. He's just getting started, ladies and gentlemen. He fights like he's been in there 10 years in pro. Is amazing. He's way ahead of his time in terms of skills and talent in that ring. He's got everything: speed, power, flashiness in that ring when it comes to letting his hands go. Not everything is hard punches from him. He knows how to switch it up, stand his ground, plant his foot, rip away to the head and body. If it becomes a dogfight, he's more than willing to oblige. And he's shown that he can give it and take it. Against Popeye LeBron, who's been in there with top fighters, he took apart LeBron like it was nothing in that fight. It didn't take long until LeBron started to get all busted up by Abdullah Mason's right crosses and left up and uppercuts and hooks. His nose was all busted up from the second round, man. And this fight did not last long at all. I thought LeBron was gonna put up a better fight, because that's what hardcore boxing fans was expecting. LeBron had been on that stage before, and he's a tough veteran, durable fighter, and Abdullah Mason shred him to pieces. Made easy work like it was nothing. Like the experience of LeBron didn't matter in this fight. And that's what makes Abdullah Mason so special. And he has a promising future. Very promising. Very bright. He's going to be a future world champion. He's got everything you want to see in a prospect coming up. He's got defense, offense. He's got, he licks his chops. Like when he sees, like, okay, this guy wants to fight. Let's do it. He wants it. He reminds me of a bit of Sugar Ray Leonard, the speed, the when it's time to show that skill with flashes of punches and the speed, and then he sits down and rips away with hard power shots. Same thing Sugar Ray Leonard used to do. And just the skills in that ring, the IQ, the fast twitches, the reflexes, everything is on point. He's got it all. I'm really excited to see what Abdullah Mason can do in the future. And we saw a glimpse of it last night against Popeye LeBron. Next up is Kesan David versus Miguel Madueno. This was one of the most wild and rough fights I've seen in quite some time. In spots, it was looking like Maidana Mayweather, when Maidana was trying to rough up Mayweather in that first fight. Had some success. Wide looping shots. Just wild, trying to make it rough. And fighters like Shakur, Keyshawn, Abdullah Mason, skilled boxer punchers, who aren't into that toe-to-toe like that. You want to make it rough with them. You want to make it rough. Mayweather in his day, you had to make it rough in order to make it a competitive fight. Otherwise, Mayweather would box you all night long. So that's the game plan Miguel Madueno was applying on Keyshawn. And it was working at times, because Miguel was a hard puncher, not the best boxer you'll see, but he has a style that makes you uncomfortable. And he was having success. He was landing body shots. He was landing good right hands. at times, putting Keyshawn on the ropes, pounding on him repeatedly, and Keyshawn was like, he was moving his head, trying to evade shots, but at times some things were getting through, and Keyshawn was like, he didn't know what to do until he moved away, he held. Um, but Keyshawn, being one of the most talented fighters right now on the rise, as Abdullah Mason, he showed his skills. He got out of harm's way at majority of the fight. He stick to his jab, very sharp jab to the body, man, like a sniper-like jab. And I saw that early in the fight. Keyshawn displayed um, a nice sharp jab to the stomach of Miguel Madueno repeatedly, and I like that. That was a nice stiff jab straight to the body. Mayweather used to do that during his time. So when I saw it from Keyshawn, I was impressed. Like, okay, that's good. And then Keyshawn started to take advantage of Miguel Madueno's desperation. He was desperate because he couldn't land on Keyshawn flush. He was frustrated, and Keyshawn took advantage of that by landing straight right crosses, counters, good counter punches, flush on Miguel Madueno's chin. Again, Keyshawn with the right hands, the left hooks, the body shots, came to a point where Keyshawn was just unloading vicious power shots on Miguel Madueno. Miguel with a solid chin, taking those shots, and just kept fighting. Never gave up. He never gave up. He kept coming, forward. Never stopped fighting. And to the point where it became like a wrestling match. Both these guys, multiple times, I lost count of how much time they hit the canvas. They went down, holding each other. And I don't know if that was Miguel's game plan to tire Keyshawn out, because Keyshawn never went that far in the fight. To the point Miguel Madueno picked Keyshawn up, looking to do like a Mark Henry, the world's strongest slam, right on the mat, and he put him down because the referee told him, "Hey, what are you doing?" The referee had to come in there. The thing is, prior to that, Keyshawn pushed Miguel Madueno, and the referee, and then that's when when Miguel picked him up, and the referee was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And not only that, the referee got clocked. And yeah, it was just a wild fight, man. It was just a wild fight. It was entertaining. It made it entertaining. Like how Bradley said in the commentary, I'm entertained, and it was. It made it fun to watch. But this is a pro boxing match. There's rules here. This is not a street fight. It was getting way out of hand. Fighters picking each other up. Fighters going down repeatedly. Referee getting hit to the back of the head. It was an ugly fight, but Keyshawn, using his skills and ring generalship, helped him in this fight, because if he didn't have the boxing skill and the talent, it would have been a rougher night, much rougher night for him, an even harder night. But he did, man. He got the fight. He got the decision by unanimous decision, very deservedly. He won the fight clearly, but it was one, like how we said in the post-fight interview, it was the hardest. It was one of his roughest and toughest fights. And Keyshawn still remains undefeated, a top contender at 135 pounds. He wants all the big names at 135. You name it, Shakur, Gervonta Tank Davis. The main fight I want to see in Keyshawn's career is him against Andy Cruz. That's the fight for Keyshawn, for me as a fan, that I want to see Keyshawn in, because Keyshawn has been beaten by Andy Cruz about 3 times in the amateurs. And they've been going at it since both these guys turned pro. That's the fight I want to see. I want to see if Andy Cruz really has Keyshawn's number. Styles make fight in boxing, and many times fighters avenges their losses in pros from their amateurs. Can Keyshawn do the same? That remains to be seen. But that's a fight I want to see, hopefully sometime in the near future. The co-main event, in what was billed as the fight of the night, on paper was a tremendous fight on paper. And I'm going to leave it like that, because the fight in the ring did not live up. It was, on paper, it was excellent. When that bell rung, I don't know what happened. That fight was not what I expected, and I know whoever's watching this video, I know you didn't expect the fight to turn out that way. It was not the fight that we expected, the action fight that we expected. We all know Robertson Conceição is known to be in firefights. He likes to mix it up. O'Shaquie does the same thing. So we were expecting a clash. We were expecting a firefight, but we didn't get anything like that. What we got is a boxing clinic by O'Shaquie Foster. Yes, Robson Conceição was the aggressor all night. He threw more punches, but he didn't land. He didn't land punches. He didn't land as much as he threw. He didn't land. He didn't land much punches on O'Shaquie. O'Shaquie had a really good defense. He was using the ring. He was using his footwork, getting out of harm's way. O'Shaquie had a game plan tonight, not to get into a firefight and just box smart, and that's what he did. He used his jab, counter right hands, counter right uppercuts, body shots, get out of harm's way. The crowd was booing, but O'Shaquie was doing what he had to do. It was Robinson Conceição's job to adjust and find openings and make O'Shaquie stand his ground and bring the O'Shaquie Foster that fought Rocky Hernandez, that fought Nova, bring that dog O'Shaquie out of him. But O'Shaquie, because Robinson Conceição didn't apply himself and the game plan did not come out, the right game plan did not come out, he allowed O'Shaquie to maintain a rhythm and a pace, and the fight turned out the way it did. Now, things got bad to worse. The fight did not live up, and you give the wrong fighter the decision and the title. So here I am on Facebook, right? Because I usually watch the fights on my app, on the ESPN app on my phone. So the fight was about to end. They were in the last round or something, and I came out for a second just to see what's going on Facebook. And here I am scrolling, and I see new WBC super featherweight world champion, and I'm like, what? Conceição is the new what? So I went back and I'm like, damn, they're interviewing O'Shaquie, and O'Shaquie's like having an emotional breakdown, and I can't blame him. They gave the wrong man the win. O'Shaquie Foster won like every round in that fight. Robinson Conceição, if you want to give him a round or two, that's fine, okay. But to say that Conceição won 6 rounds or 7 or 5, no way. Honestly, I didn't see Conceição win any round, because even though at times Robinson Conceição landed some shots, it was not enough. A lot of those shots were blocked. He threw more punches, but a lot of them were blocked and missed. O'Shaquie was the one landing, even though he threw less, but he was the one landing and boxing. It was one of the most clear robberies in the history of the sport, and I was really surprised. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to see Robinson Conceição actually get this big win that he rightfully deserved, because he's been robbed in big fights. Like, he came up short against Navarrete, not saying that's a robbery, but it was a draw. He could have won that fight. The Valdez, a lot of people say he won that fight. That was a world title fight. They took it from him. They robbed him in that fight. So maybe this is a get back, but still, you don't want to. Right is right and wrong is wrong. This ain't to say this fight was competitive, really competitive, and lived up, and you want to give it to Robinson even though you felt Foster won. No, this is totally opposite. This is the fight that Foster clearly won, but you still give it to Robinson Conceição. Because and like how people say, maybe because this is his last title opportunity, he's 35, 4th world title shot. Let's give it to him. That's how people are seeing it. That's how the judges want to see it, right? But no, look. I'm happy for Robinson Conceição. That he finally, all his hard work has been paid off, and he's now world champion and made history to become Brazil's first world champion with a gold medal. Now, but the thing is, the only problem I have is the way that he won the title. He did not win that fight. It is what it is. He did not win that fight. So the only thing that can be done right now is a rematch. It's a rematch ASAP. They need to run this back and let Robinson Conceição defend against Foster and prove his worth, that the title belongs to me. But we all know that the title doesn't belong to him. It belongs to Foster. Foster belongs remaining champion right now. But it is what it is, unfortunately. The main event: Oshaki fought Shakur Stevenson versus Artem Hutcherson. Very hard name to pronounce. I got the first name right. Artem, out of Armenia. And in fact, he's from Germany, I believe. But anyway, he fought Frank Martin in his last fight. Give a good account of himself. Gave Frank Martin all he could handle. And here he is now in the main event against Shakur Stevenson in New Jersey, in front of a pro, of course, Shakur Stevenson crowd on hand. And Shakur, back from his not so impressive victory over Edwin De Los Santos, he displays another boxing clinic, sharp boxing, not get hit, good counter punching. Just dictated the pace throughout the fight. 12 rounds, and another day at the office for Shakur Stevenson, man. Picking apart, doing what he got to do, doing what he wanted with Artem, landing wherever he wants to land, to the body, to the head, uppercuts, stick that jab, evading shots, and it was just another day at the office for Shakur, man. And still, you're 135 WBC world champion. So what's next for Shakur, man? Anybody at 135, man. Shakur can fight Tank. Shakur can fight Pitbull Cruz. Shakur can fight anyone. William Cepeda Camarón, who just came off a sensational win, impressively stopping Giovanni Cabrera in the third round. A good fighter with a body shot. So William Cepeda is a threat to anybody 135. So Shakur can fight him. That'll be an interesting fight. You got Shakur versus William Cepeda, who'll be coming forward, throwing punches and punches. Wing will stop coming. And you got Shakur, the boxer, trying to, use his defense and trying to counterpunch William Cepeda. Is the classic boxer versus aggressor, the bull versus the matador type of fight. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section about this card, man. It was sweet and sour for me. I don't know about you guys. The only great thing about this card was that Abdullah Mason shined. Keyshawn David entertained us in a brawl with Miguel Madueno. But that's about it. Everything else was just flat. Oshaki Foster versus Robinson Costa and Sal did not live up, and they got the wrong decision. Shakur, he won clearly, convincingly, but it was not a performance where you'd be like, whoa, I can't wait to see Shakur again, pay-per-view, I want to pay. He's a warrior. Nah, it wasn't that. But it is what it is. Shakur remains undefeated, still champion. Did what he had to do. On to the next. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Olsen Cruz. I hope you guys like my new background, by the way. I just put this up the other day. It makes me look like I'm in a boxing ring talking to you guys. But I'm trying to. Sorry about the shaking. Trying to get the Miracle Boy Boxing logo in the middle. Don't worry, the Miracle Boy Boxing is still here. I'm just trying to get the Miracle Boy Boxing. Just trying to get the logo in the middle of the poster of the wallpaper here. And but first things first, step by step, one day at a time with that. But yeah, Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Olsen Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys right here about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.